Okay, hello everybody, my name is Toria Garbutt, I'm a poet and I'm going to give you some tips on writing your own poetry for this fantastic competition. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to say is that all the best stories already exist in your head, and that's a really good piece of advice that a friend of mine called Ian Clayton, who's also a writer, he gave that advice to me a few years ago, and it's always really stuck with me. And he said that all the best stories exist in your head and that you just have to find a way to tell them. And I think that's really true and really powerful, because we all have a story and we're all interested in each other's lives. That's the reason why we watch reality TV shows or read newspapers. We all want to know what's going on in each other's lives. So that's the first thing. Your stories are valid and interesting, so I would say that you don't need to make anything up. I don't make anything up. All my stuff is completely 100% autobiographical. I think that works really well in poetry, because even though those stories are personal, the feelings that come up in those stories are universal, and that's enjoyable for the person reading it. That's enjoyable for the person reading or watching. They can connect with those true feelings because the likelihood is that they felt them too. And sometimes you're able to say things on their behalf. You're able to put into words a feeling that they had. And that's a powerful thing. So that's the first thing. So have a think about these past crazy few weeks. Have a think about something that's happened to you personally, maybe a conversation that you've had or a realization that you've had, a feeling that something within you has changed, something significant, and tell it. The next thing I'm going to say is that, so a former US poet laureate called Billy Collins, he says that poetry is a history of the human heart, and I really like that. And you know, I think in years to come, when this period of time is probably going to be recorded in history books, people will look back on it and they'll read about it from a factual perspective in those history books. But our job as poets and writers is to write about this period of time from an emotional perspective, so that people, when people read poetry that's been produced in this time, they'll understand about how we were feeling and how we were emotionally affected by it. So that's the second thing. A really easy way of bringing a memory or an experience to life when you write is to use your five senses. It's a really simple way of doing it. I think that the more detail you put into a piece of writing, the better. And the more real it is, the more able the audience are to picture it and feel it. The idea with a poem is to try to really capture a particular memory, I think, and so that when the audience reads it or hears it, they can really feel the essence of that particular memory. So I'm going to perform a piece of poetry now. It's one of mine, and it's about a period of time around 1998. So I was about 15, and in this poem I use my five senses to describe this particular time. So listen out for the way that I describe how things looked, sounded, felt, smelt and tasted. Yes, I never remember them all usually. Have a listen. This one's called The Universe and Me. That in-between space after school before tea, just sunshine and telly and settee and me. Tired and happy and hollow and free, just sunshine and telly and settee and me. Oh, after snags and mashing that comes curling across the room. And my mum's making up hot words to a 90s Britpop tune. She's like, girls who are, boys who are, girls who are, girls who are, dee 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 dee, you and me, baby. Bless her little socks off, they're soft and pink and cotton. She'll probably had a Bob Licardi on, but don't ask because I've forgotten. She's cute and small and mumsical, a twirling ballerina. She's Andy Pandy, Bill and Ben in our living room arena. Me mum, she's chopping spam, she's feeding our chihuahua. She's teaching me the elegance of matriarchal power. She's spinning plates on roller skates and serving with a smile. She's sat her ass on toilet, so she'll probably be a while. It smells of snags and peas and mash and tastes like Bisto gravy. It sounds like blurred, it feels like third, it's the air of Actung, baby. It looks like suns and moons and stars and giant yellow teacups. It feels like docks and knee-high socks and Marks and Spencer's C-cups, that in between space after tea before bed. When you're meant to do your own work, be watching Friends instead. Listening to Jim Morrison and floating out your head in a higher dimension than not low. Puffing on a Lambert on a pink blow-up settee in that in-between space before bed and after tea. Praying for forgiveness and praying to be free, just the sunset and the moonlight and the universe and me. Okay, so just to recap, choose a real memory, something that's really happened to you over these past few weeks. Describe it in as much detail as possible, be very specific and use your senses. Don't be scared to write about the things that have upset you or embarrassed you or worried you, because that's often where the best pieces of writing come from. When we say the things that we would ordinarily only say in a diary, say those things in your poetry and you'll be amazed at how much people enjoy reading and connecting with that truth. Okay, so in the next video I'm going to be talking about how to take this writing that you will have produced hopefully from this video and how to edit it, how to find a rhythm that feels right for you, and how to shape that writing into a poem that feels right for you too. Okay, look forward to that. Take care everybody and speak soon.